small French window near at hand. Then you'll write to the prince.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is a live edition of Beyond the Kayfabe. This is your host, Ilya S. We're going live tonight on YouTube. I don't know exactly how to, hope you can see this. I don't know exactly how to give you access, how to get access to the official Beyond the Kayfabe free-for-all channel. Daniel MS handles that. But I do have an hour of driving here, and I just wanted to share my thoughts. I wanted to share my thoughts about the wrestling industry, because there is so much cool stuff going on. First and foremost, we've got Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. The announcement made last week, the announcement that rocked and shocked the world, and nobody saw it coming. And really, it's the element of surprise. It's the element of surprise that Chris Jericho has thrived off of since the beginning of his career, more specifically his WWE career. He always wants to do it big and wants to be shocking and take things to the next level. These two guys really match up right now. Jericho, as he cut it in his promo, as he said in the promo, is the best one left still standing, which really makes him the best in the world and living up to that moniker. The Shawn Michaels, the Edges, the Batistas, and even to some extent the John Cenas, the Triple H's. They've gone into either part-time status. They've gone into, movies. They still love the business and everything, but they're not there. And Jericho himself, of course, is not around all the time. He obviously has his band Fozzy, which is pretty damn successful, especially overseas. But he comes back, and his last run was, in my opinion, the best one. Maybe a close number two to his 2007 return, in which he had a memorable feud with Shawn Michaels. He had a lot of chemistry with Kevin Owens. He really found his niche with the List of Jericho. It just stuck like a lot of things in his career. You got to be at the right place at the right time. You've got to have the crowd support. You've got to evolve with the times, and you just have to have a little bit of creativity. And Jericho has always been a combination of those things. Now, Kenny Omega, I'll be honest with you, I don't really watch New Japan, but I do hear things. Being a wrestling fan, being a WWE fan specifically, we do hear things. And really going back and watching some of these matches, especially the classic Omega-Okada bouts, that it's hard not to at least hear about these classic matches unless you're really living under a rock. If you're a wrestling fan, Omega's up there, man. He could be in the WWE if he chose, and right now he just doesn't think it's the cool thing to do. Will we see Omega there eventually? I'm 100% sure of that. There's money to be made, and Vince can write a big paycheck, and you've got to be foolish not to put your stock in this guy. But nevertheless, the Tokyo Dome, January, man, Wrestle Kingdom 12. I'm pumped. I don't know what platform we can see this on. I'm sure there's some online streams. And, somehow, some way, I'm gonna watch it as will a lot of people. So, let's see if this thing is still on, man. Okay, we reconnected, guys. I don't have any listeners or viewers right now. I believe that's because nobody knows we're on here right now. But this is fun. I'll archive this. I don't really care if nobody listens to me. I love to talk wrestling. I have an hour drive to visit my girlfriend tonight in Burbank. Shout out to you, Diana. But anyway, love you. But anyway, getting back to this Omega Jericho thing. Omega won the match. Video package, the classic countdown with the little parody of the video that kind of Jericho used in his very first debut in WWE. Masterfully done. Jericho holding up a picture of Omega, very serious. The promo, Jericho always been great at promos, and this was you could tell he's pumped. And so anyway, cutting to the chase, this is going to happen. It's going to happen. Omega Jericho, a dream match. People were predicting this may happen at the Jericho Cruise in 1 year, next October. But it's happening at the Tokyo Dome, and the Japanese publicity, the Japanese management, and the Japanese fans could not be happier, guys. And we don't know at this point if it's a one-time deal. It seems like it's a one-time deal, but what we do know is Jericho has been a free agent for 6 months. The appearance he made at that one SmackDown was a one-off deal, so he could fill in for somebody, I believe, in the triple threat match. Vince giving his blessing. He's all right with this. Vince is all right with this, and I believe that whether Vince is all right with it or not, Jericho's really his own man, and he would have done it anyway. But it's great to have, the big boss's blessing. That means they're still on good terms with WWE, and that means that we still have a chance of seeing Jericho both at SummerSlam and WrestleMania. We do, and so nevertheless, sorry, not SummerSlam. WrestleMania, and then SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, etc., etc. I think he has another couple of runs left him in for the WWE. Another thing we know is that Jericho hasn't he has not wrestled outside of WWE, and he said he never would, and he really hasn't since 1999, guys. 1999, but apparently the stars aligned. These two wanted to make it happen. They were teasing a little bit of a friendly rivalry on Twitter, and people thought it was just that, just two pals joking around. They're both Canadian, similar styles. So I'm interested in how this match will go. Jericho has slowed down a bit. He's 47 years old, guys. He can go, though. He can go, and I believe that this match won't be as constricted as would it be if it happened at the WWE, which is kind of a blessing in disguise, and so this is happening. It's exciting. It takes you back to how wrestling used to be years ago, where there was shock value and that anything can happen moniker really existed, and Vince really kind of displayed in reality that saying anything can happen by signing guys you'd never expect to come there, like having the NWO come back and countless others, and having surprises at the least expected time, and that's what really got my passion for the business, and along with some really good in-ring competition, some really strong in-ring competition. Now, speaking of the WWE, speaking of shock value, let's talk about some things happening in WWE. Now, this is not a structured show. I don't have the Survivor Series card in front of me, guys. I want to go like 90 on this freeway, driving from Palm Springs to Burbank. Isn't fun, but hey, I gotta do it, love going to LA. Shout out to LA. But yeah, so AJ Styles winning the belt from Jinder. Now, let me give you my thoughts about this one. My thoughts about this are as follows. When that Jinder match got set up with Brock, it just didn't fit for me. It didn't seem right. It didn't seem like something the fans wanted. But I believe it was planned. Kind of a heel versus heel match. What problem do these two have with each other? What's the story here? Nothing. So really, it could have been more like one of these house show matches that sporadically Brock appears on. But I believe that this was the planned match. Why? Because Jinder, throughout the challenge, cut a promo on Brock. I mean, the wheels were in motion, and then, a few weeks away from it, coming up to the home stretch, the title changes hands. AJ wins the belt. Now, I do believe that this was not planned. This title change was not planned originally. Was it a response to Jericho Omega shock value for WWE to have their own little bit of shock value by having AJ defeat Jinder on SmackDown Live, thus making the main event of Survivor Series? Excuse me, I don't know if it would be the main event, but anyway, it may. Making it AJ versus Brock instead of Jinder versus Brock. Yes, I think WWE wanted to. I think that this past week in wrestling really changed what happened with that announcement for the Tokyo Dome. Really changed the WWE's outlook. So anyway, they put the belt on AJ. They want to spruce up the card, spruce up the match, and that is by design, ladies and gentlemen. That is not by mistake. After this match, it's belt versus belt. It's huge. AJ versus Brock, two very different styles, but two very big names. And man, Brock can go at fast pace. I think he needs to trim down a little bit. I think he's been on his heavier side since he hasn't been active in UFC. But man, the guy's in all right shape. Even when he's not trying, he's in all right shape. Man, what can I say? What can I say? Hold on, intermission. Hey guys, I'm back. Anyway, Brock versus AJ. What I believe is going to happen is going to be a great match. Shortly after this, Jinder will get the belt back and will continue his title reign. This title switch was just, to make the match at Survivor Series basically a better card, a stronger card. That's what this was for. And then Jinder will go back to it, and I believe he's telling the truth when he did share that this was not this title change was not due to bad behavior or a drug test failure. This was, so I believe, and what he said was that AJ was the better man, but since it's choreographed, I believe it's because I'm holding a banana. Yes, I'm holding a banana. I believe I believe that, shit, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, it's great. It's great, and the card is stacked, man. We got 2 title changes actually this past week. We've got the Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, going over the Shield, and so for the belts, for the Raw Tag belts, and so now we're gonna have the rematch. No, we're gonna have the Bar versus the Usos, and so therefore, rumor has it, and I think this is gonna happen because there's already video packages about it. Reigns is rejoining the Shield this coming Monday, and Survivor Series will have the Shield versus the New Day. Great potential match. Good job WWE for putting that together. Random match, but great potential match. This is a good banana. Yeah. I'm gonna litter right now, guys. Hopefully I don't get caught. Man, whoever watches this on archive, they're gonna be dying of laughter. Woo. Get my napkin. Got everything ready. All my snacks. All my snacks. So anyway, a long story short, it's a stack card. We got that match. We've got, of course, the 2 teams match. Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura. Shit, who's the 4th one? Slips my mind right now. But taking AJ's place, though, John Cena. John Cena rumored to be the ref in the Brock Jinder match. Completely change of direction. He's going to be on Team Blue. He's going to be on Team SmackDown. This is not going to happen, but hell, imagine him turning on SmackDown and siding with Raw Red and turning heel. Wow, not going to happen, but we all can fantasy book in our minds, right? Anyway. So that match, on the other side of the ring, of course, Kurt Angle captaining. Kurt Angle, he's actually finally going to wear that singlet. It's it's a tag match. He won't have to do much, but we all know Kurt can still go like the machine that he is. Kurt Angle, only 1 year older than Chris Jericho at 48. Man, these guys, at this age, they're in great shape. It really motivates me because I'm not. They're in way better shape, and they're just about 15 years older, or a little more. So Kurt Angle, Kane, we've got Strowman, we've got Balor, we've got Joe. I'm not sure if Balor's on that team. Yeah, I just don't have it in front of me, but either way. Great match, exciting match, something to John Cena's return. Man, this is a stack card. I went from being kind of excited, I went from being moderately like to real excited. I'm back. So yes! We got that, and I can't. With the Shield match, with this 8-man tag, and with the main event, it's already worth the price of admission, guys. I wish this card was in LA. Honestly, I don't remember a Survivor Series as stacked as this, and this is really what it's supposed to be. It's one of the big 4 pay-per-views. It hasn't been big for some reason. For years, they just... At one point, Vince McMahon actually was thinking about scrapping the whole pay-per-view. Now, this here's a slice of history. It's kind of like WrestleMania or or Royal Rumble or SummerSlam. It's just something that... It's one of the big 4, and they should treat it as such, and I'm glad they're actually investing in it this time. Now, the fact that they're advertising this as the only time SmackDown goes head-to-head with Raw, except for the Raw 25th anniversary, which is coming up. That's of course just publicity and BS. Somebody's viewing my podcast. I have one person. I love you. Thank you. But yeah, back to the topic. While I'm doing this drive, it's going to be a good card. Now, the other shocking things that are happening in wrestling are Raw 25th anniversary, January 8th, I believe, or January 24th. It's going to be in January, guys. I'm not prepared. This is off the cuff podcast, but we didn't have one last night, so I'm trying to make up for it. Shout out to Daniel MS, my co-host, or Dan the Man Boxing, as he now likes to be called. So anyway, we have Raw's 25th anniversary. Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, and the Dead Man, The Undertaker, announced for this, official. And this is not even going to be it. You know, this is not even the only thing. We're going to have more announced, you know, as we come closer. I'm sure The Rock will make an appearance. Basically, they want to go all out for this thing. You know, it's just going to be great. It's already sold out, you know. So basically, it's more exciting than the WrestleMania travel package at this point. So you know, hopefully they can put together a really nice. I don't know why I'm stammering. A really nice, a really good card for the fans. But the thing that really sticks out to me is the Undertaker's on this card. The Undertaker's returning on this card. Now this is 2 weeks out from the Royal Rumble. 2 weeks out from the Royal Rumble, and it's. I don't believe personally that Undertaker would come back just to appear, say hi to the fans, and go. Now, I may be mistaken. You know, he could do his entrance for half the show, his slow entrance. Traffic. Anyway, he could do his entrance for a big part of the show, and that could be it. But I'm thinking he's decided that he's gonna go at another go at this year's Mania. Even though a lot of, you know, there's a lot of other shows you're going to listen to on the interweb that are going to say things like his body's beat up, it's run down, he shouldn't even be in there. I guess I could see their point, but again, it's about the mystique. I mean, the in-ring, of course, action has been a focal point for a long time, and he's really improved over the years. I mean, when Undertaker first came on the scene, he couldn't do much, and most recently going back to the WrestleMania 25 Classic with Shawn, one of the best matches I've ever seen. So my point is, Undertaker doesn't even have to do much, and yet it can still be a great match. And yes, it is a payday, but I still think it's great to have the Undertaker be a focal part of WrestleMania. I think maybe he'll do something with Kane. I know Kane may be on his final run himself. He's running for mayor. If he wins, he won't have time. He's destroying everyone. I think he's going to drop the ball to Strowman, which pass the torch to Strowman, and take some time off. I don't believe that he's completely done, but obviously we haven't seen Kane since this recent run. Before this recent run, we hadn't seen Kane in over a year and a half. Did I say over a year and a half? It's been about a year and a few months. It's been since August 2016, really. And even that was a one-time appearance. So, hopefully I get more than one listener, guys. But whoever you are, love to you. Love you. Anyway, so yes, he left his coat and his hat in the ring at WrestleMania 33. It was a sign. It was a big sign. Every year there's signs, guys. I mean, the biggest one was last year, but nobody said he's officially retired. I think that is for a reason. I think that was for a reason. Nobody said it. And so he's going to be back. How many more times will he be back? I think he's got a few. And I first started thinking about this when he appeared. There were photos leaked out where Taker appeared at Ric Flair's 30 for 30 premiere at the movie theater, and he had his hair dyed black. And he only does that when he's going back to the Fed. And so that was the first thing that gave me that idea. So I don't know what I'm doing to my car right now. I think I just ruined my transmission. I always get so distracted when I talk about wrestling. It's quite a passion of mine. But it's a great thing to do, while you're driving. It's a great activity. I wish I had someone to bounce my ideas off of tonight, But I understand, they're all out partying. Have fun. So I'm excited about Raw 25th anniversary. It's going to be great. It's going to be so cool. And that's usually when wrestling picks up. Around January, so it's definitely a proper and fitting time for the Undertaker to come back, and interesting to see what transpires. I mean, Roman's still bragging that he beat him, that it's his yard. Could we see a rematch? I know that's not what a lot of people want. They're still down on Roman, but hey, it's Vince's guy, guys. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. More is gonna happen. What they're planning next year is Roman versus Brock. So what I'm seeing for possibilities for Taker, if in fact he does return, Kane is a good choice. Kane's not a bad choice. But nevertheless, moving on. The final piece of news I wanted to touch on today was Paige. And it's been leaked that she's broken up. She is broken up. The relationship with Alberto Del Rio has ended. take that with a grain of salt, guys. Ever since she got with this guy, her career suffered. She's been acting up. She's young. She's exploring herself and everything like that. She's in her mid-20s, but yeah, she just really fell for Del Rio. He's had a lot of conflict. Again, didn't work out with him in WWE. He moved over to TNA. Then there were that whole assault thing, the allegations, and then he was suspended for a while. Now it turns out he's back in. Sorry, I don't want to call it TNA. It isn't TNA anymore, guys. I'll call it what it is. Impact, Impact Wrestling. So anyway, yeah. So now the news is that Paige will indeed be on Raw. Should be a surprise. I think it's a much added addition. I mean, they do need another female. Emma's gone, so they do need another female. She's had injuries. She had personal problems. Paige, she won the women's title a few years back. The first night she debuted. She's great in the ring. She has a good following, and you know, she's very young and she got off track. Her career got off track by outside influences, and I kind of understand that. And it is sad. It is sad that her career isn't where it could have been at this point because she's taking so much time off. But if you look back at Randy Orton, he always had potential, and everybody always knew that Randy was going to be a diamond, something, you know. Like Michael Cole says, if you built a wrestler from the ground up, a performer from the ground up, and you put him in the ring, it would look like Randy Orton. The guy's that good. But his attitude sucked. He was doing drugs, drinking, partying, and he had a few strikes on that wellness policy, and he was a dick. Let's face it, he was a dick to a lot of the backstage people, but he found his way. He found his way. He improved, and at this point, he's a veteran. He's a locker room leader, and he hasn't messed up to this point, and I commend that. Another one is Jeff Hardy. Eddie Guerrero back in the day, he succumbed to his addiction. Incredibly talented performer. Succumbed to his addiction, had to work his way up. He got fired from the Fed. He had to work his way up literally from the very bottom indie shows. But before he unfortunately passed away, he met his potential. He found his niche, and he lived his dream. So he turned it around, and so I think Paige still has a lot of longevity in this business, and I wish her success. And we'll see what kind of interesting feud they come up with on Raw. Guys, with that being said, I'd like to thank you tonight. I want to start making this a Saturday thing. We are doing podcasts with Daniel during the week, but this is going to be like an added bonus. I'm going to try to move this over. We're going to try to move this over to the official Beyond the Kayfabe page. With that, this is Ilya S. And we will talk to you next week. Thank you for your attention. Спасибо за внимание, as they say in Russian. And goodbye.